All right, happy Monday, everybody. I realize it's really late in the day, and for some of us, it's already Tuesday, which kind of defeats the purpose of a Monday video. And again, I apologize for that. But I've been having a really, like, insanely difficult time making this video today. I mean, I've done this video over and over and over again, and I had no idea what I was going to talk about, and I was just rambling and making crazy noises, like, but I'm past all that because something cool has just happened like 20 minutes ago. So that's what I'm going to go with. Right. I've just gotten my five-piece portfolio back from College Board today, and I decided that I was going to share those pieces with you right now. So piece number one has everything to do with nostalgia. So let me show this to you real quick. It's a picture of my face, as you can see. And Nettie Ann reminded me of this whole nostalgia thing with Lizzie McGuire because I've kind of been doing the same thing, but with books that I've been reading. I've been reading stuff like Aesop's Fables, The Fawn and the Woodcutter's Daughter, which is just a collection of fairy tales, and most importantly, The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. Because I love these stories, and these are the stories that I read when I was younger, so I like to read them again and remember the first time that I read them and where I was and what I was. Well, obviously I was reading the book, but it just, I love to think back on these memories fondly. So, and because I turned 18 this year, I've been really nostalgic, and it's, I just can't believe that we're at this point where we're getting ready to step into this pool of independence, I guess. I don't know why it's a pool, but it is today. So that's what really this piece is about. It has all these quotes by J.M. Barrie about Peter Pan, the boy who never grew up. And when I was little, I never wanted to grow up. And sometimes I feel like I still don't, but I accept that I do. But I think it's important to hold on to pieces of your childhood, to that inner kid, that creativity, that imaginative aspect that you were when you were a kid. And, sometimes things like that are just not worth letting go by growing up. Piece number two you may have seen before because I did this sophomore year, and it has all these quotes because I love quotes, like I told you before. Just from about random things, mostly about reading because this is a piece of my library. That's where I usually read, and I love my library so much. And the quote that sounds the most says, "Read in order to live." And I love that rule. And while it would be a little unfair to apply that to everyone, 'cause some people just hate reading. I think it's a good rule to live by. Knowledge is such a wonderful thing, and I love to learn. We all love to learn. So, probably why I like this the most, though, is because I incorporated Doctor Who into it, and Doctor Who is my favorite show. And I use that quote that says, "Almost every species in the universe has an irrational fear of the dark, but they're wrong because it's not irrational," and that's about the Vashta Nerada. And I love that. That really hit home with me because I am still afraid of the dark sometimes. So it's just that whole nostalgia thing again. But I really like that piece, and I guess that's all I'm going to say about it because what else can I say? So, right, moving on. Part three. So, piece number three was one of the first pieces I did for my concentration last year, which was ruins. But I kind of like this one. I used bones to represent the things that could ruin human lives. So, I use secrets too because if you hold things like that in too long, it's eventually going to eat at you and eat at you and eat at you until it just completely destroys you and you are just a ruin of what you once were. So that's kind of what this piece was. And eventually I took ruins to mean, a lot of different things. But this was a good stepping stone, and this is why I love this piece. Part four, and this one had to do with the epiphany that one day you're going to realize that you are going to die, and it's going to scare the hell out of you. But everyone has to come to that conclusion because humans do not live forever. And that's what this piece was about. So I used train tracks to represent the fact, to represent life. And if you can see, they're ended right here because that is where you're going to die. So there are these cities in the back to represent the things that you did in your life, the things that you built, that you created, that the wonderful, hopefully wonderful things that you might have done in your life, and how they're always going to be there. But I also incorporated something from Greek mythology. It was the flower that Morpheus created so that people would dream when they sleep because he didn't want sleep to be just another, just a precursor to death, I guess. He wanted it to be a reminder that there is life that you've been given and you have to live it to the fullest and you have to take advantage of all these opportunities you have. And that's one of the reasons I like Greek mythology because of things like this. So that's why I included that right on the brink of death, that even though you are going to die, there is still life to be lived in this piece. And while it seems really morbid, there's hope in it. Congratulations, you made it to part 5. I'm so sorry that has taken so long. I hope you are still here with me. Here is piece number 5. It's actually my favorite from this year, and it was very much so inspired by John Green and Banksy, one of my favorite artists and one of my favorite authors. And what did I want to say about this? I don't know. I used the quote, "You will go to paper towns and you will never come back," and then the door says paper only, because it's that whole idea that people are not made of paper about them. John Green said, "What a treacherous thing to think that a person is more than a person," in that book, and it's so true. So that's part of the meaning of this one, but I also took it to mean for Banksy, who's, all into that whole non-conformity thing, this increasing obsession we have with materialism in this country, at least in this world, really. And I think that that's really going to ruin people, because if they are worried about obsessing over things like that, they're not going to have anything worth remembering to leave in this world. And that's what I use ruins for, to be your legacy kind of thing. And I just think that's such a shame. So that's really what I wanted to say. That's also what Paper Towns in this piece means, that don't go down that road. Don't go down this road of nothingness in this world. There's meaning to be found in life, and you just have to find it, I guess. You have to be willing to live and to learn things. And I think that's an important lesson to learn, I guess. So that's kind of what I wanted to say with this one. And I feel like I've taken up too much of your time today, so I'm going to stop there. I'm going to say that I enjoyed everyone's video last week. I really, really did. And I can't wait for this project to continue for the rest of college, I guess. But I love you guys so much. I'm sorry again that this video is so long, and I will see you all later this week. Peace. Bye.